All right, welcome to the Mint Condition Podcast. I'm Brad Clementson, your host, and today we've got Annika Orozco with us. And Annika is into Pilates, a specialist, and owns your own studio, right?
Yep, that's me.
Annika's going to tell us all about Pilates and health and staying active today.
Yeah.
Before we dive into that, let's dive into what we were talking about before we started the episode. Orozco. How do you say that? Orozco.
Yep.
Okay. You said your husband doesn't look as Hispanic or Mexican as you.
Yeah, it's like the name is from Mexico, from Spain, and then his family moved to Mexico. Like there's this big, long, cool genealogy of that name. And then his grandpa moved to America and married an Idaho blonde white lady. And then Calvin's dad married an Idaho blonde white lady. And now Calvin is, just an Idaho looking boy with the cool last name.
That's
from Mexico.
awesome. That's cool. So what I wanted to tell you about it was my one of the clinics I've worked in the past. Mm-hmm. My assistant looks totally Hispanic.
Okay, love.
Doesn't speak a lick of Spanish.
Perfect.
Her husband, white as white can get, completely fluent.
Served a mission there or something?
I don't even remember. He might be from Mexico, but he was fluent. Everybody would walk past him and try to talk to his wife in Spanish all the time.
Oh my gosh,
she's
so funny.
Just so frustrated. And what made her most frustrated was he wouldn't step in to help. He'd just sit there and just thought it was so funny.
Do it. That's so funny.
So I was curious if you run into that at all. People
just always think that I kept my last name. I always get that a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of funny.
That's
but
cool.
I don't think anyone's ever really tried to speak Spanish to me.
Yeah. Do you speak Spanish at all?
I do not.
Oh, me either. I want to.
I know. Me too.
It's
It'd be
such a
so
beautiful
helpful.
language. Yeah, really.
It would be so helpful.
Yeah. So with your studio, do you see a wide variety of people from around here?
So, the funnest part is we're not open yet.
Oh, okay.
We're in the ramp up right now, and so our grand opening is here really, really soon. We're about to announce our grand opening date. But I've taught for a really long time and seen tons of, just everybody from all walks of life,
That's cool.
in our classes. And it was actually really funny. One time someone came to my class just looking at my name, they didn't see a picture of me or anything, and they just assumed that I was a Spanish speaking teacher because my name sounds really Annika Orozco. My parents just gave me a wild first name, and now I'm married with a crazy last name, so it's kind of a wild name. Anyway, she came thinking that it would be a Spanish speaking class, and then afterwards we chatted, and she was like, can you just play some Spanish music next time? And I actually made the funnest class of this crazy Spanish music, and it was so much fun. And then anyway, I kind of started getting that crowd.
That's
sometimes.
Cool.
It was really fun, but it was an accident, total accident.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that I ran into with that.
Yeah. So do you guys have different Spanish classes or sign language or anything like that?
We don't. So we're starting off with a really great grand opening schedule, and then I'm really excited to just kind of dive wherever the clients want to go and what's needed. I think that's something that is going to be really unique to our studios. It's going to be all really, really member focused. If whatever times that they want classes to be, whatever times, I really want it to be their dream schedule, their dream classes, and kind of morph to what they want rather than us kind of trying to just say, sorry, these are the times and these are the classes. So I'm open to all those things for sure. It
seems like you're very flexible to feedback and what do people want, the type of classes they're interested in.
Oh, for sure.
That'll be really cool to see.
I know. It's going to be fun.
So what got you into Pilates initially?
So I had kind of been on a big, long fitness journey. Over the last 5 years, I've lost 70 pounds and kind of flipped my life around, became a Pilates instructor. About halfway into my weight loss, I found Pilates because I had heard that it was really, really good on your joints. So I grew up playing competitive soccer, and I've had a few knee surgeries and a lot of ankle injuries. And so doing CrossFit style HIIT workouts, a burn boot camp style, high intensity training was just really hard on my body. And so I tried it just to see if it would take some of the pressure off my joints. And I had seen some amazing results on people from Pilates. And I just totally fell in love with the movement and the community for sure. But yeah, Pilates became my all-time favorite workout.
That's cool. So you got into it as a workout for yourself, became a passion,
Yes.
And then you became a teacher
Yes.
from that. That's cool. What's the
Totally.
process to get into teaching? And
Oh my gosh. Well, there's a lot of different routes that you could go. The way that I went, I was working full-time 9-to-5 corporate jobs, so I really didn't have the schedule to do a lot of in-person training. So there's in-person or online, and then I went the online route and was working full-time and doing I did 2 trainings at once, which I don't recommend doing, but I was just really passionate about it at the time and just really wanted to get both and just go pedal to the metal. So it was a lot at once. The online trainings are great, though, for people that are in a situation like mine where they can't take work off for 2 weeks or whatever it may be to go to an in-person. So, and I know that there are some trainings in person that are more on the weekend. So it's kind of just finding something that works for you. There's lots of options in Utah and then tons of options online. So, but I definitely went the online route because of my schedule at the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so nice when you find that passion, when you're like, this is my calling. This is where I'm supposed to be.
It was so weird. I never expected myself to do anything like this. But when I started going to Pilates and loving the community so much, I was like, oh, this will be a fun little passion project. And the more that it grew and grew and grew, I just was like, this is my whole world. Like, I totally found my passion and like it felt like just totally my calling. It was so fun.
That's cool.
Dive in.
So, forgive me for my ignorance.
Oh,
but
no, you're great.
My first thought when I hear Pilates is dancers.
Yeah.
Is that common?
That's a really common thought because it is partially true. So Pilates was invented by a man named Joseph Pilates. It's actually named after him.
Okay.
And his first studio in New York City was right above a really amazing ballet studio.
Okay.
And so anyway, he trained a lot of those dancers. So it does have a lot of dance roots because of that. And so dancers flock to Pilates for a lot of reasons. Again, super good on their joints, great rehabilitation. The flexibility and just the body control. So you think of like a ballerina, their body control is insane. They can stand on their tiptoes, hold their leg up for long amounts of time. It's like the craziest calisthenics. They're just jacked.
Yep.
So that's kind of a mirror of dance a little bit. I personally am not a dancer at all, did not come from any dance background. I have no rhythm, no no flexibility at all, but it is that beautiful calisthenics of being able to hold your body weight in these tough positions, and just like lengthening those muscles. It just creates a beautiful physique on top of it makes your body feel really good. So it's a really cool. So that's why people associate to dance. It's true. So that was kind of like the origins.
Comes from that background.
Yes.
So holding your body in these positions and stuff, only athletes can really do Pilates, or?
No, definitely not. Pilates is for sure for everybody. For every, it's going to be the hardest workout ever, whether you're an Olympian or you never worked out a day in your life. So
a desk jockey.
That's the cool thing about Pilates for sure, is that everyone on the spectrum is going to get a great workout. There's tons of modifications and ways to build up and down, just like with calisthenics. So it's going to be the hardest workout you've done, no matter where you're at in your fitness level, which is so fun.
So do you guys teach different level classes then? So people, it's not come to any class and we'll adjust it for you? Or how does that work?
Different studios have different, methods on this. My personal method is I want my instructors to be able to walk into any class and teach to any level all in the same room. So I'd rather have it be you just show up and you're going to be catered to in that way. So they give lots of modifications. They give lots of ways to advance the movement as well, so that everyone in the room walks out feeling successful. It was still extremely difficult, but they also didn't feel like it was not attainable.
Right.
So that's my method. I just think it creates a really great community, and it also helps you progress as well, and it's really fun.
Well, I like that you said makes it attainable.
Yeah.
Because right now, New Year's resolutions, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's thinking, I want to do this, so I'm going to go to the gym for an hour and a half every day.
Yeah.
They quit 2 days in.
Absolutely.
Right? So making that attainable, and especially something, maybe Pilates they haven't tried before. Mm-hmm. It's new environment, new movements, right?
Yeah.
So what have you guys done to help somebody like, hey, you're new at this, start slow, create a habit, get comfortable.
Yeah, I love the word attainable. I talk about that so much with my community and like my following because it was such a huge thing in my fitness journey because I was in that zone of like trying to flip my life around, 180 change, stop eating sugar, stop, go to the gym 2 hours a day, try and make this crazy life change. And then I would obviously fall off the wagon worse than before. And I was kind of in this cycle for a long time. And when I stopped doing that and kind of gave up the ghost on trying to just flip my life around, I just started doing attainable things to create a better lifestyle. That was what kind of snowballed my fitness journey. At the beginning, I just started walking only for 30 minutes a day before work. And then it just snowballed and snowballed and snowballed into this like now it's a 180 flip lifestyle 5 years later. So I love the word attainable. What I'd recommend to people is starting out with attainable goals always, like take a really great look at yourself. And it's kind of more freeing to do that, right? Because then the pressure's off. It's like, I really can it's really attainable for me to only go to 1 class a week or 2 classes a week.
Yeah.
It's attainable for me to, I'm always going to grab the lightest set of weights because I know I'm a beginner, blah, 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 blah. Like it just creates a better experience for you.
Yeah.
Creates way more longevity. It creates better habits. So I definitely want to encourage like our first timers to always, and we have a really fun thing at our studio called the First Time Experience where they're going to get a really great kind of one-on-one with not only our front desk but our instructor, and they'll be talked through the whole experience, be really helped in picking out their equipment, walk through the whole class, and then they'll get to take the class. So it'll be really a better experience than like I think most first timers have.
Yeah.
And we'll explain that to them really well. Like, you're going to see those 2-pound weights and think this is going to be a super easy class. And those 2-pound weights are going to feel like 100 pounds, Yeah. So we're going to do a great job at explaining the attainable goals and all that stuff. But yeah, I love the word attainable. I think it's so important. And our studio we're going to put a really big emphasis on that because it was part of my journey for sure.
Well, I think that's so cool that you're creating something that almost feels niche, right? Pilates, but for the community.
Yes.
And where it's anybody sitting at a desk. And that's really what we need more than anything. Athletes can come and do Pilates. And like you said, they're going to get a great workout. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
But the rest of us need systems and opportunity to get out there.
Absolutely.
And I like that you were talking about walking for a half hour every day, right? Just as a start, everybody can go walk for a half hour, or most people can, right?
Yes.
And build into it. And then Pilates is a great opportunity and creates that structure to stay healthy.
Group fitness is the greatest, I think, because of that. It creates exactly what you're saying. It just creates some structure for you to go, like especially if you grew up as an athlete. I see this a lot. Like people grow up playing sports, most people do, and then they become an adult and the structure's kind of gone from working out.
Yep.
And they just they gain a lot of weight, they become really sedentary lifestyles, and that's a very challenging place to be. Whereas I love group fitness because it kind of brings that structure back where it's like, well, I'm signed up for this class, kind of like how I have 5:30 p.m. practice tonight, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing mentally where it creates this great schedule for you. You don't have to think about the workout. All you have to do is just show up. It's the hardest part. And then once you're there, the instructor gets to take it from there. You get a great workout and go, and you just get on this great schedule. So anyway, I do love the structure of group fitness, especially Pilates, because it is so great for everybody and so great for longevity and for building muscle and for all things. Like it's kind of the all-in-one magic workout for me.
Yeah.
Especially we've kind of taken a twist on like bringing more like strength training into it, kind of a modern twist. We're very much like a modern Pilates studio in that way.
That's cool.
So we do a lot of functional training throughout Pilates mixed together. So it's a really great place to come and just for beginners or professionals, it's going to be a good experience, I think, for everybody.
That's really cool. Being a physical therapist, we deal with injuries all the time. So hearing that, talking about strength and joint health and everything is just like songs to me, right?
Right.
But
do you
especially
get a bunch
joints.
of like heavy like CrossFitters and stuff with injuries a lot in
Yeah,
here?
a lot. CrossFit especially because they and my brother's really big into CrossFit, and so I tease them all the time. They think that it's perfect.
Yeah.
They think it's everything. And it's not.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is to show somebody who's in CrossFit about their core weakness.
Oh, really?
Because that's what they rave about, right?
Yeah.
And most of them have pretty bad core.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure probably because their backs are under so much pressure.
Yeah. They're
That's
under
what
a
I
lot
love
of
about
pressure.
Pilates is everything comes from the core, and it's very gentle movements. We're usually on our backs. We're doing deep core. We're doing great pelvic movements that are getting those tightening muscles where we're coming together rather than pulling apart.
That's cool.
It's really good for your core strength for sure.
What would you say is one of the main misconceptions that you've seen with core strength and pelvic floor stuff?
And I was doing this for years, just thinking that like sit-ups were the best way to create great abs, right? And just pumping out as many
abs
sit-ups
are all
as you
that
can.
matter.
Yes,
right?
and abs are all that matter.
Yeah.
And I wasn't focused at all on my back muscles because our core is really this whole entire trunk area.
Yeah.
And so I really was just only focused, obviously, with just 1,000 crunch, thinking that was going to get me there. Whereas when you do crunches with incorrect form, all you're doing is actually pulling your abs apart and pushing your gut forward, which is not what you want to create.
Yep.
So learning Pilates was great, especially becoming an instructor for me, because I learned the correct form of how to engage our core, which was super helpful. I often say in my classes, like, practice knitting your ribs together. So pull everything in,
That's cool.
knit. And it just creates a way stronger core, focusing on our back muscles, our lower back muscles. Creating an all-around core experience is going to be the biggest thing. And then abs are just made in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So
they are, and abs are the least important.
Yes, they are.
Of all your core muscles.
They are.
I like to call mirror muscles, right? Everybody likes to work on biceps, chest, abs.
Yep.
Because that's what you can see in the mirror.
Yep.
But interestingly enough, it's anything you can't see that's more important.
And that's a cool thing about Pilates. It's like we're working so many stability muscles, so many of those little muscles that just create great longevity. So yes, it is kind of nice because, again, I keep saying it's the magic workout because you do still get that kind of beautiful mirror aesthetic that you're like the mirror muscles. But then you're also getting the longevity, the flexibility, the joint health. Like it's kind of the magic workout, I'd say, for sure.
Yeah, that's been a big focus for me, is realizing when I'm 80, I want to pick up my grandkids.
Oh, for sure.
Or great grandkids. So what do I need to do now so that I'm able to do that when I get there? And it seems like Pilates could be a big part of that.
Absolutely. I always say in my classes, like, we'll be in a lunge position, and I always want them to like come all the way down, tap their knee on the ground, and then stand all the way up, because as soon as we lose that motion of just coming up from our knees, and obviously these 20-year-olds aren't thinking about that, right? But just the functional movements, not only do they create that beautiful muscle toning that you want, because those are the big muscles that do our functional movements, like picking up our grandkids or whatever, grabbing a box off the shelf, right? Those muscles are the same as like doing a lat pull down or doing a squat lift, right? So or doing a lunge. So doing those things where you actually tap the knee on the ground, I always draw it to that. Like, these are your functional movements. We never want to lose these. So, like, this is why we train like this. Like, put your knee on the ground, practice standing all the way up. And so it's a great workout for that stuff for sure.
That's really cool. What other kinds of misconceptions do you feel like the community has about Pilates?
I think there's a lot. I think that men think that it's only for women. I think that like me growing up, I thought that it was only for like old ladies, right, that didn't want a hard workout.
Yeah.
So I think that people either think it's way, way, way too hard or way, way, way too easy. Kind of what we talked about, where I want to create a great spectrum where everyone in the room leaves feeling successful. So I think that men could benefit so much from Pilates. For example, like I noticed when I became an instructor, my dad, my brother, and my husband, when they would come to classes, there's this position called tabletop where you lengthen one leg out and you're lifting and lowering your leg extension. And I've noticed that most men cannot straighten their back leg in tabletop position, which is kind of concerning.
Yeah.
Just for longevity purposes and for like joint health and flexibility health. And no wonder why we see a lot of women, this may be a little bit of a hot take, no wonder why we see so many older women, right, old ladies that are in great health, walking out with their friends, and then we see a lot of old men like kind of hunched over and kind of shuffling along. So I do think that these type of movements, especially mixed in with your really heavy strength training, right? Because my dad and my brother and my husband all lift really heavy. If they would mix it in, which they have been doing, I mean, my brother's back pain is totally subsided. And my dad's like able to touch his toes now, something that like he would probably, he's just such a strong, big guy that his muscles are so tight, his joints are so stiff from lifting so heavy for so many years. My husband has hip problems from being a long distance runner.
Yeah.
These are all these things have kind of subsided and have been helped through Pilates. It's been really fascinating to watch. They're better athletes in their areas that they're super interested in.
Right.
Since they've been doing Pilates, which is really cool.
I feel like society has set up men a little bit to fail in that way because we're told, at least I feel this way, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like men are told to perform. Mm-hmm. And if you're working out, especially yoga or Pilates, you're sissy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
it totally is that vibe, huh?
Yeah. And it's not good. It's men need full health and range of motion.
Me too.
Yoga's fantastic for you. Pilates, body control. And for longevity, you need that posterior chain.
Yes.
So you need back strength and glute health. If you're a desk jockey, you're not working out your glutes enough.
Totally. I mean, you're sitting in this position all day. You're shortening those muscles so much. No wonder why in tabletop position where you're kind of flipping the position we're in right now and doing the opposite. No wonder why they can't even lift their leg to that spot because most men are sitting in a desk position most days. And so that is so good for you to get into those and lengthen the body out and move those joints. Like, it's just so good for you. And in fact, like, I love this. I've been seeing lately that the NFL teams they're training their football players more with Pilates on the off season now.
That's cool.
Yeah, so seeing these big giant guys on reformers and on their mats is really, really cool. I think that it's going to change a lot of the perception of Pilates. And yeah, I would love to see men in our classes. For sure.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how much society relies on athletes, right? You watch the Olympics, and when cupping got famous with Michael Phelps.
Yep, everyone.
KT tape got famous with the volleyball players, right? So Pilates, same thing.
I think so.
It could really bring that into our communities. And you've seen that with NFL. They do mental health. They do mental rehearsal. And so all these high school kids are like, I just lay in my bed and I run through plays in my head. And I'm like, dude, when I was in high school, you'd get bullied for saying something like that.
Right.
So I think that's
so
great.
Yeah, I think it's so cool. Like the Chiefs, I think it's their O-line. They all have mandatory Pilates.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool on the off season.
So the Grizzlies, Mammoths, RSL, maybe they'll come to your studio.
They definitely should.
They're all welcome, right?
Yeah, they're all welcome for sure. I know we have some BYU football players that are coming in for trainings. I mean, it's going to be a place definitely to. I mean, it's such an, again, I keep saying it's the magic workout because it's a rehabilitation at the same time it's sculpting the body.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of this, again, magic workout.
Yeah,
so cool.
I love that. I think there's, like you said, joint health and strength and mobility and all of that stuff.
And just learning to control your body weight is something that is so underrated.
Yep.
It's so important for any workout that you want to do, and just your day-to-day life, being able to control your own body weight, be able to be in tough positions for a long time, hold your own body weight. All these things are so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in addition to this, strength, mobility, all of that, what other things have you either found in your own life or you guys maybe teach or plan to teach at your studio about nutrition, hydration, things like that?
Yeah. Nutrition was a huge part of my fitness journey because I was in such a bad spot with nutrition at the very beginning. And I was kind of, not only was I yo-yo exercising, I was definitely yo-yo dieting where I'd, be like just crazy back and forth all the time. So I really wanted to create something that, again, was attainable and had more longevity. So I love the 80-20 rule for me personally. And I wasn't even able to do that at the beginning. It was definitely more 80-20 the opposite way.
Yeah.
And then I slowly came to like a 50-50. And then I've slowly kind of now come to this point. I used to even track my macros really intensely and use MyFitnessPal really intensely. That was super helpful for a while because I learned a ton about food and about like what's in my food and everything. But at this point now, I kind of have a great idea of my calories. I have a great idea of what food calories and the macros are for most things. I now just focus on having like a whole food diet and like a very intentional, if it didn't come from the ground or an animal, like I'm not gonna eat it type of thing.
Processed food.
Yeah.
Especially in the U.S.
Yeah, processed food.
What we eat here is illegal in a lot of other countries, like because it's just not actually food.
Yeah, it's so scary. But they did just come out with the new food pyramid.
I saw that.
So cool. So I think we're going in the right direction, of course, because it's funny because that's the diet that I've kind of been following for the last year and a half, and I've seen the biggest changes from that. And so it was great to see that come out. So I think that if people can start following just something along those lines, they're going to see huge changes. But at my studio and like kind of with my following and community, what I always want to push is just creating attainability and then lifestyle rather than like going on a diet. I'm super anti going on a diet. I'm super anti, doing a challenge or cutting something out entirely. I think it sets you up for failure. And I don't think it's great for the body either, especially the mental either, especially for women. I think like restriction isn't the greatest method.
That's what society puts this like image for women, and then you put this restriction on top of that instead of lifestyle. I like that.
So I think like creating a lifestyle is going to be very much pushed at Annika. We have a beautiful grocery fridge area where we're going to have some amazing grab and go options for people. And so I think just creating an ambience of seeing us kind of living this 80-20 and like promoting it will be super fun. At our events, we'll have fun drinks, to promote, just enjoying things.
Life.
Yeah. So I think that we're going to have a great view on nutrition, and I'd love to add it in later as we grow. We have so many plans to grow this. So I have a lot of vision for nutrition and coaching like that in the future. But for now, we're just going to try to create like a great community of people that are focused on a lifestyle rather than thinking about, our instructors are never going to say something like, all right, you guys, we're working off our Thanksgiving dinner today. You better earn those Christmas cookies. Like they're never going to say something like that, but they are going to talk about fueling your body and making sure that you're getting enough, water after a hot Pilates class and promoting electrolytes and it's going to be a much more positive lifestyle creating mantra rather than a restriction mantra. It would be awesome.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of positivity in my life where you focus on, I don't eat candy. It's just who I'm not. It's, I can't eat candy. It's, I don't. That's not what I do.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, it even just framing it that way is such a different change.
Yeah.
I do eat candy, though.
Well, me too.
80-20. 80-20?
80-20. So tell me more about 80-20. What do you mean by 80-20?
So 80% of the time I'm eating, like I said, if it doesn't come from the ground or an animal, I'm not going to eat it. So that's 80% of my diet. And then when I'm out, on a date with my husband, we go get ice cream after. I fully enjoy it. I'm not restricting that. If I'm in Disneyland, I'm having, a treat at Disneyland with my family. If it's my birthday, I'm for sure going to just like have, what my favorite dinner that night. So it's just kind of that mindset of when and where. And it's so, so great because I never feel restricted.
Yeah.
I always just feel like, a great accountability with myself of, is this a worthwhile thing or is this just like a crappy donut in the break room at work? You know what I mean? That I'm just bored, So it's super helpful that way. I'm very intentional and it makes like going out to eat or it makes, my birthday or someone else's birthday or a date night way more special because I'm like looking forward to it and getting exactly what I want rather than, just like grabbing a piece of candy every time you pass the snack room or whatever it may be.
And what's interesting is you enjoy it less when you're doing that all the time. I have candy all the time and I eat the crappy donut. I'm going to go to a super expensive restaurant, but this donut's here right now, so I'm going to eat that and then go to the restaurant, and you don't enjoy the restaurant.
100%. 100%. I think you become a little bit more disciplined, which is never a bad thing. I mean, you just become really cool that way. And then it also makes things funner for you. It's like a win-win-win. And you're going to feel better, look better, all the things that you want. It's going to be, I love an 80-20.
That's cool. And it's attainable.
Yeah,
anybody
super
can
attainable.
head that direction.
And when I very first started, 80-20 was going to not be attainable, obviously. When I was coming from a horrible, horrible diet, I just, at the very beginning, I said, okay, I'm going to focus on a healthy breakfast. And so I did that, and then I kind of just like only stuck with that for a long time. And then I slowly started adding on, tried to focus on like more protein throughout the day, and started tracking my protein and like all those things. And it just, again, it snowballed. But had I started from the beginning saying, I am only doing 80-20, I would have fallen off that wagon. So I think attainability with nutrition is probably the best route to go.
Yeah.
Nutrition is hard because
is.
food is an addiction, and food is something that we have to have. It's not like drugs where drugs are an addiction, but you don't have to have it to survive.
Yep.
It's like so food is really challenging. So plan on it being challenging. I always say that to everybody.
Yep.
Plan on it taking a long time to hone in. Plan on your body, not loving it for a long time. Working out is way more fun because your body is going to love it.
Yeah. It's going to love it day one.
You're going to love it.
Yeah.
So nutrition is harder than working out for sure.
Yeah, I agree. So does the 80-20 rule apply to Pilates or just working out from your perspective?
That's a great question. It definitely could. I do think that it's important to rest, obviously, to recover so that the body has time to rebuild and come back. So if you're burning out, then for sure maybe bringing that 80-20 into your workout routine would be great, of like 80, like, making sure you get a rest day, using that 20% as like your rest day. So that's a great idea. I always promote like making sure that you're getting enough rest, recovery, all the things. We have a beautiful sauna and ice bath studio recovery room, which is going to be awesome. Yeah. So I imagine like on my rest days coming in, walking on the treadmill for a little bit, just a very chill, just get some movement in, hitting up the sauna and ice bath, having a great recovery, still getting to use the space, be with the community. So that will be really nice in the studio for sure.
The recovery days are so important.
Yes.
My brother used to run a half marathon every Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, why am I so tight all the time? What's your recovery look like? And that's okay to run a half marathon.
Yeah.
Some people are running 100 miles a week, and that's great.
For sure.
They're kind of crazy, but that's okay. But what was his recovery? Nothing.
Yeah.
How much stretching, how much, ice baths or saunas or nothing. I was like, well, that's why, right?
Yeah.
Like, and coming to see, being his brother, he'd come see me like once a month. That doesn't compensate, not even close, right?
Well, and I think something that I learned in a training that I went to was, as much as you pump the muscle, you need to lengthen the muscle after. So when I heard that, I was like, that's a really great method for any type of workout.
Yeah.
Is like, as much as you're working out is as much recovery that the body needs. So the more that you up your working out, the more that you need to focus on the recovery aspect, which is why you're seeing like a lot of like these fitness influencers out there, on their vibrators, like vibrator pads, and on their like red light, and in the sauna, and in ice baths, and like in the compression legs and all that stuff. So that is going to be for sure something that ups as your workout ups.
Yep.
So
if you're working out more, you got to recover more.
Yeah.
I think that's great. So what's one big message you'd have for our community as we're wrapping up to help people get more involved in Pilates or just their own health journey?
I would say, for me at the beginning, everything felt overwhelming in my fitness journey. Like, even when I found Pilates and went to a Pilates studio for the first time, I had already lost 50 pounds. I was feeling really good. I walked in that room very, very intimidated when I came in. It was, felt like I walked into a bunch of, super, super fit people. The workout was super hard. I felt very out of my comfort zone. I think the biggest thing, but I felt like that in every step of the journey. I felt out of my comfort zone getting up and walking 30 minutes every single day. I felt out of my comfort zone walking into the gym, being not in great shape. So there's going to be tons of things that are uncomfortable for you. It's just kind of my biggest message is push through the uncomfortable part and just do it anyway. That's like what I always say. make it attainable, do it anyway. It's going to be if you can do attainable goals and snowball your life, it's going to be the most worthwhile. You're not going to ebb and flow in your weight. You're not going to ebb and flow in, loving it and hating it. It's just going to be a part of your lifestyle, and who you become is someone who is invested in their health and wellness. And so, yeah, that'd probably be my biggest message, is just do it anyway, make it attainable, and just go for it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that message. I think more people need to try that and work with a studio that says, hey, come on in.
Yeah.
A lot of places can be intimidating. They all know the moves. They all know whatever. And I've never been here before. It sounds like you guys are going to be very inviting to the community. That's really great. Oh, for sure.
And I think because of my experience, right, it's nice having that perspective of someone who walked in, not in great shape. Yeah. Really nervous. And I feel like we're coming at it from that perspective for sure. Yeah. And then also from the perspective of, if you are in great shape, we'll come and kick your butt. Yeah. At the same, right. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's going to have a great experience and feel successful when they leave.
Well, I'll tell you, Brody and I are going to be there.
Oh, heck yeah.
I'm going to be getting my workout in. Brody's going to just hang out in the sauna and the cold plunge the whole time. I can tell you that for sure. Okay, well, we ask everybody on the podcast this one question. Okay. I'm stoked to hear your answer.
Oh my gosh. I'm stoked to hear my answer.
It just seems like you're going to have a really, really solid answer to this. So we asked, what does a mint condition life look like to you?
It's a great question. For me, I think that a mint condition lifestyle is someone who feels confident in their body, in their mind, and that I feel like does all come from health and wellness. I do think that my motto is health is wealth. Like, it's on all of our merch. It's our motto for the gym. And so I just believe that the best investment that you could ever make in yourself is your health, because it makes everything around you better. Your relationships get better. Your confidence level gets better. Your energy levels go up. You can go after your dreams more. Like, everything gets better when you make the investment in your own health and wellness. So I'd say living a mint condition lifestyle would definitely be focusing on health as wealth for me, for sure.
That's awesome. I love that.
I know. We got to get you guys some health as wealth in here.
Absolutely. So what's the best way people can find you guys? Where's your studio going to be? Phone number, website? What do you got for us?
So definitely go follow us on Instagram. We're doing all of our build out and all of our updates on there. We'll be announcing our grand opening date there. So it's Annika.wellness on Instagram. Same on TikTok, Annika.wellness. And then we're located in Provo, right there at the mouth of the canyon. It's beautiful, right at the base of Timp. So go ahead and find us on there. I know, we're so excited. And then just Annika.com to go and get your number on our wait list.
That sounds great. Well, everybody should reach out and join and come check out your studio. I'm excited for you guys.
Yay, thank you. I can't wait to have you guys.
Yeah, and thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Yep.